Good Sunday morning. My amazing wife and I were at an event yesterday called Life Surge. Wow. I really didn't know what I was getting myself into, but it was a beautiful thing, and I'm glad I did. Somebody from our church recommended it, and we went. And they had a terrific lineup of speakers, uh, like John Maxwell, you may have heard of. He's written 90 books. My goodness, I didn't realize it was that many. He shared some very amazing things and that were really intriguing. One thing I'll share that John Maxwell spoke about was how success and failure are so close together, and we don't really want to separate them. They work together. So many people have them spread wide apart like they never want to fail. But just realize if you get the thinking and the wisdom that this man and so many others have learned over their decades, that I'll tell it in a story that he shared. It says it best. They came to a man that had tremendous success, multimillionaire, all this terrific lifestyle. They said, what would you change if you could go back and change any of your mistakes and do over? All right. What would you do over? What would you fix? What would you change? And the response I didn't expect. It was very interesting. He said, I would change, maybe you probably can guess now, nothing. The reason is, he says, my mistakes and failures are where I did most of my learning. Made me wise, made me keen in certain areas. Sharp. Iron sharpens iron, right? He says, if I took away those failures, I wouldn't have the success that I have, and I wouldn't be the man that I have become. Wow. He said that so many people have them spread so far apart, like success is way over here and failure is right over there, but really they're right next to one another. They're made for each other. Maybe like you and your spouse, if you're not getting along, or somebody else that you know you need to play nice with, or that you've promised to play nice with, but things have gotten difficult. And just in case you're going through a situation where maybe you're facing some failure, maybe you feel like you just can't get something right, and you've tried over and over and over, just try to do what John was talking about and learn from those failures. Sit down with a pen and paper, just sit down and think about what is it that I can learn from this situation? What could I do better next time? This book here is called The Owner's Manual. Most people call it the Bible. And it's written in so many different ways. It's such a terrific, amazing book. If you're not a Bible person, I get it. I wasn't always one either. I was raised going to a Catholic church. We now go to a non-denominational church here, and with some terrific pastors, full of heart, spirit. And I've come to learn that there are many translations. And some people will say, well, I don't want to read it. It's very confusing. I don't understand the these and the thous and the whatever. There are so many translations now that are good, like The Message. Written in today's English that you could go out there and read and understand. And like the book of Proverbs, it's just regular, common sense stuff that you can use for your life to help things to work better in your relationships, in your work, in everything that you do, how you operate, how people see you. Another amazing speaker that they had there, his name is Ed Mylett. I have never heard of Ed Mylett, Mylett. But wow, what a powerful message he had. A different note, but similar. Talk about success and failure. He was talking about the fact that he was basically robbed of his childhood. He was never able to be a little boy much because at the age of 5, he had to start confronting his father, who was an alcoholic. And just in case you're dealing with a serious situation like that, I'm going to share some information that I gathered from this. Because he also referred to the owner's manual. As much as he's just a regular everyday guy, or you might think, well, he's very, very wealthy and does very well, and he's a very sought after speaker. And it's because he learned from his mistakes and from other people's mistakes, like his father. So his father would come home, he said, drunk. And he could tell eventually by just the way the key turned in the lock to unlock the door to come in because it was late. And he would be in protection mode. And instead of confronting his father or calling him names or telling him what not to do or getting angry and upset like he was probably right in doing for what was going on over the years, and apparently not treating his family with the love and respect that they needed. Let's just put it that way. But at 5 years old, he would stand up to his father, who could have been Goliath for that matter, right? When you're 5 years old, what can you do, right? But he would talk about the times during the day when he was playing baseball and distracted his father and simply just tried to connect on a level that his father would connect with him on. And he talked about how he would hit the ball and how he would wrap his fingers around the bat and what he did to make sure that he got the other players out and tagged them and all these different things that he knew his father had an interest in. Distracted him from the liquor cabinet and making things worse so they could have another peaceful night. It's very interesting how he grew up, and eventually, because he could see the kindness in his son, who he didn't want to hurt, who was just going through a very difficult time in his life, being a new father, getting a grip on life. Who knows what this man was dealing with at work or whatever, but he really loved his family, but it was being covered over with the alcohol. And just in case you are dealing with a situation that might be similar, God forbid, but if you are, try to do what Ed Mylett did and find a way to just distract and connect on a very human, practical level with something that they're interested in, something that draws the two of you together so your love can come into them and they can see the errors of their ways, hopefully, and they can get past this situation because along the line, he got through his alcoholism. He came to the other side and never drank again, one day at a time, and they became best friends. Best friends, playing golf together, having a wonderful, loving, caring life together. Because a little boy learns from somewhere to just simply connect with his father. And if you're the dad, try to do that with your son. Try to connect on a level that you know that they enjoy. And simply distract rather than just battling it out. There's so much more that can be accomplished with peace. And my background, I don't always approach things that way and or haven't been taught that by the examples that I've watched on amazing movies where, you're in there with the swords and the shields and the bombs and the guns and wiping out the bad guys. That can be exciting and thrilling and whatever. But when it comes to practicality and really making a difference in someone's life, there's so much more that can be done by just connecting with the people that we care about and being there for them so they can become the terrific person they were really born to be. And then you will also be more of the terrific person by helping them be the person that you need to be.